Over here on the right-hand side of Antigua Shipyard, we have our red Terran player from ZeeZ. Just the GLHF that time. Oh, nope, there's the ZeeZ. There we go. No BM, please. It is ZeeZ. And his opponent down in the bottom left-hand corner from Isurus is our blue Zerg player, Dark.
All right, so ZeeZ saying no BM, please, but I'm pretty sure I counted at least 4 mules being dropped
That
offensively in that last game, so maybe he's just saying no BM, please from his opponent. You know, he's not going to stick to his own no BM, please, because, you know,
he's a rebel.
He's a rebel.
Just by his own rules.
Just like Jim Raynor.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, there you go. Jim Raynor also requests no BM, please.
That's
especially
right.
from Kerrigan.
And Tychus.
Yes.
And basically anyone that messes with him at all.
That's true. So really everyone at some point during the StarCraft series.
Soon it'll be Duran. Dun dun dun. Oh, sorry, Dr. Narud. Did I say Duran? I meant Dr. Narud. I don't know who Duran is. That's no one. That's not a
one
person.
half of a famous 80s pop band, but
yeah, actually both halves.
The other half also named Duran.
Yeah.
So
it's actually both halves, just one half at the same time. That's a conundrum. That's really weird.
That's like 80s pop inception, and I'm not comfortable with it.
80s popception.
Well, ZeeZ going after a quick refinery once again, this time opting not to wall off at all. Looks like his opponent is going to get in there in a pretty timely fashion, be able to scout this out, but as we can see, the last game he decided to go for barracks, then started the supply depot just to make sure that his opponent wouldn't pick up on the refinery earlier. You know, it's still very possible to see normal, typical reactored Hellion expands. They'd fallen out of favor for a while because of how good the Queens got with 5 range. So, but I wouldn't be too shocked to see something like that.
Yeah, and this drone's just having a jolly old time. He's probably going to hide for a little while, come back out, look around the refinery area a little bit, and if he comes back in there, he can see that tech lab. I don't know, it might just be out of range from where he's at right this second.
Let's see, yeah, he hasn't seen it yet. There he goes.
There, he dips in and selects it, so he knows it's a tech lab. So, with this tech lab on the barracks, would Reapers be a possibility?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there's a Reaper right there.
On this, I was going to say, on this map, I was already going up to the cliff line. On this map, there's a ton of cliff line, as you can see. Reapers can jump up right here. This is this path's not jumpable, but this is. So there's a lot of area that they can abuse. They can get around from the sides as well. So Reapers are pretty cool here.
Yep, if he makes more than one, I'll be pretty happy because that's still really rare in the vast number of games that are played in StarCraft 2 every day. It's not very often that you see more than one Reaper made at the beginning of a game. I mean, obviously they can be effective.
Or an SEV doing 120 points of damage to a spawning pool.
Hey man, if he had done 120 points of damage to drones instead, he'd have 2 kills already. But this Reaper is already halfway across the map. Pop up with that Xel'Naga tower, nothing in his danger zone. So he's going to continue on. Will he go to the shelf or will he go up to the natural? That's the next question.
Sorry, I broke into Kenny Loggins there for a second, so I apologize.
I invited it.
Yes.
So he's going to just head over to the natural. There's 4 lings here. A Reaper can dance long enough to kill all 4 of these lings, but looks like he wants to loop around back either home, scout some more. I'm not sure exactly where the Reaper's going, but he's just going to stay alive for now. Is he actually just destroying? Okay, so he's just preemptively destroying destructible debris with this Reaper.
I really like this because it actually takes a a long period of time, and it's really critical to get down those destructible debris. And because of the grenades, Reapers can do that pretty quickly.
A Reaper is equal to about 18 Hellions when attacking destructible debris like that. It seems.
That's awesome. Okay, all right, ZeeZ.
Man, maybe ZeeZ just may have opened up a whole new world.
The metagame.
Yeah. Terran players take note. That's actually really, really good. And I'm sure that it's going to be applicable on other maps as well. Kadaria has those destructible rocks that can be between you and your opponent. So also, could be a use there. A couple of other maps as well. But I like what I'm seeing so far. Let's see if he can continue this innovation with some tanks. Maybe he's got tanks doing crazy stuff. Who knows?
Those would be good. He's got them coming out right now. First tank is on the way along with Siege Mode. He decided to double expand as well, so he's feeling very secure at the beginning of the game. Now his opponent isn't doing anything terribly out of the ordinary. We've seen that the Isurus Zerg players like to favor roaches. Roach drops pretty much everything that involves them, so I'm not too surprised to see this. But it's going to be a while before it hits. ZeeZ will certainly be able to invest in his infrastructure before then.
Another part I just love about destructible debris, it's like you literally lob a grenade anywhere and you're doing exactly the same damage to it.
And I love whenever you have really wide destructible debris like this, as long as you're just in range, the animation will hit every part of it, so you'll occasionally get spine crawlers that are like, oh, I'm poking this, and I'm way over here now all of a sudden.
That's always fun. But it's ridiculous because the circle at the base is like the size of a factory, but the debris itself is just triple wide. And I'm going to break off into a nerdy thing again. Every time you say Isurus, I hear Asura, which is a Guild Wars 2 race. And there's a stress test today.
I have not played Guild Wars 2 yet, so probably losing nerd points.
Release is in a couple of weeks, man. It's going to be a dark day for IPL. I think several people in the office are going to be playing. And Yak's Bend is the official esports server of Guild Wars 2. Okay, that's the end of that. Hope you wrote it down. But
it'll never be said again.
No, until the next time you say Asura, and then it triggers me again.
Isurus.
No.
Yak's Bend.
Yak's Bend.
Well, Zergling Speed's coming up, and Dark is investing back into his gas for now. We see third gas guys are coming up along with layers, so he's choosing the very heavy drone route as well, just like his teammate did for a while. This Reaper certainly served his purpose. He's picked off two Zerglings and killed those destructible debris, which I'm sure that Dark is not happy about in any way, shape, or form.
That was really just so efficient. I really am a fan of the Reaper destruction, and obviously Dark knows that his rocks are down now, so he's gonna maybe it'll change his playstyle a little bit. You know, not knowing that knowing now that he doesn't have that protection outside of his third. But both players just doing their thing. They've actually given each other quite a lot of breathing room so far. We've got MMM sort of with a little splash of tanks for for ZeeZ, and Dark on the other side has his Baneling Nest coming up as well as that lair.
All right, so that's pretty much kept things where they're at. Now, we've seen Ling, Baneling, Muta quite a bit over the years. It's had a little bit of resurgence lately, but actually in a bit different sort of fashion. We've seen fewer Mutalisks and heavier waves of Lings and Banelings due to the fact that players have been cutting tanks quite a bit more. As we can see in this game, Jimmeh decided to produce 2 tanks and then has cut them from here on out. So it's primarily bio units that he's got on the map. So there's certainly a potential for large waves of Lings and Banelings to do some damage. Looks like Dark actually going to go with the as he picks up there. No, a Marine left behind.
Wow, how crushing is that to know that there's an open seat on the medevac and you just barely didn't make it. Ouch.
Intentionally, it seemed like as well. The medevac could have picked him up.
Yeah.
But
that Marine must have just offended everyone in the chow hall or something like that.
Then the penalty is death? God, the Terrans. Yeah. That's hardcore.
It's like a prank to these guys. They're like, oh, that's okay. He'll be replaced.
Pranked. And you just kill him, apparently. So.
That's right. Capital punishment is a very serious thing in the Terran ranks.
Yes, quite a funny prank, too. So, Dark trying to get a read on this third base. Of course, nothing out there quite yet. The command center is done, but the third orbital command, in many cases from Terran players lately, used to saturate 2 bases as quickly as possible.
I was just going to criticize Jimmeh for walking into that huge wave of units when his Hellion just died, but thankfully he turned around and dodged my criticism. Lots of Banelings coming up now.
Lucky for him.
Yeah, I know. He's lucky this time. But a huge round of upgrades here for our Zerg player, Dark. He's got melee armor and pathogen glands all coming along. Hive is already on the way, so we might actually get to see some Broodlords or Ultras this time around. I still haven't seen that yet this series. Armory coming up now for Dark, so he is... sorry, I don't know why. The colors just are confusing me today. Jimmeh has his armory coming up so that he can continue those bio upgrades that he's got +1/+1 working on right now.
Yes, Jimmeh did change colors from last time.
Oh, did he?
So
okay.
Yes, you're not crazy.
That justifies me a little bit. But
well, okay, so ANFS is coming out. This is the brand of ZVT that I've really enjoyed watching. Very quick hive. You have some defensive units where you drone really aggressively at the beginning. Then as you're attacking, taking more bases and working on those tier 3 units. So this is really cool stuff. But as we can see, I don't believe that there's a Spire out at all. So it may just be that Ultralisk Cavern for now.
Yep, Infestation Pit and Ultras would be a fine option. Obviously, with this huge number of Lings, you can do that swarming technique. You can try to flank things and then let the Ultras come in and pick up where the Lings have died off, basically. So Lings draw fire from tanks, Ultras run in, stomp the rest of it. But
no. There we go. He didn't have his command center rallied. Sorry.
No. We've got Baneling speed on the way, 2/2 melee upgrade and armor upgrade both coming along here. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Marines being the unit of choice for Jimmeh. this time around.
He's going to need those Marauders soon, as there are Ultralisks on the way now.
Yeah, Marauders stand up well, obviously, to those Banelings, and Ultras stand up or do just a lot more damage to the Ultras, so going to be the unit of choice soon. But for now, he's got a little bit of a timing where he can do some drops like this. I don't know how effective it's going to be, obviously, but he's got another drop circling around. Yes, the top side, it's going to be a much larger drop. Thankfully for Dark, he does actually have an Overlord net just nearby, so he might actually be able to spot these with time to send at least the Lings back home. They are all in the center of the map, though, so ZeeZ knows that he's going to get some damage done, whether it's in the middle of the map or in the main. So Baneling Splash, take out that first wave of Marines, and a stim, totally useless stim. Oh, we got the big crash in. All the Banelings, all the Marines get fungled. This is so gross. ZeeZ just losing tons of Marines and a couple of tanks here. The drop in the main is undefended. But this, the spawning pool's going to go down with Adrenal Glands not finished, so that's quite a good pickup for ZeeZ, but I don't know how he's going to be able to defend at home. Well, he's only got a couple of units.
Yeah, he's got a little bit coming back at home, but he was reinvesting so much into his infrastructure. He's done a really nice job by putting these bunkers up everywhere, but that's not going to last all that long. He doesn't have anything in position. Oh, very nice shot. Pick up the
Ultras already got
cavern
started
as well. Yeah, 3 were started, but it's certainly nice to be able to reset that tech. If you can take out Hive as well, that would just be devastating.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a breakthrough here for Dark. Oh, no, but all these Roaches actually getting flanked. He didn't have quite as many units as I thought, and back in the main, it looks like this Hive is now in real trouble. Man, I thought Dark's attack was going to do a lot more than it did there. Good job, ZeeZ. Basically just cranking out so many Marines that he was able to stand through that and still take out the Hive.
Total tech reset. There is still, I believe, the Infestation Pit. Let's see, Roach Warren. No, the Infestation Pit. Yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought it was off to the side or somewhere weird. So, so there can be Infestors produced, but there can't even be Zerglings. He can't go up to layer right now. So this is going to take quite a while for him to be able to reset this, and all the while, ZeeZ's going to be producing Marines. He's investing back into his upgrades. He's looking pretty good, surprisingly, after all that.
Yeah, I mean, really, Marines are a decently good unit. I've heard before that they are quite versatile and very cheap to make and have really high DPS, and you can split them so that they take less damage from splash like Ultras and Banelings, and they fly in these medevacs.
That's true.
Yes, basically they're god units, and they should be removed from. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, as we can see, ZeeZ, though, he kind of overproduced workers a little bit. He's at 89. That's a little intense for where he needs to be. I mean, once he gets on 4 and 5 bases, he'll even be able to sacrifice a few of those here in a bit.
64 Marines, though. That's a large number of Marines. Fungals will be pretty ridiculous against that. If Dark manages to land a few, it's gonna be nice for him to try and claw his way back here.
Now ZeeZ is max, and he's been doing this annoying little drop play a bit. But I'm surprised he's not trying to establish dominance or fight his way into the middle part of the map here. It is really critical to have control of that. You just have such good presence throughout the rest of the game if you're able to lock that down.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been able to. I mean, like, that's where the Infestors have been parked out for so long. I mean, the nice thing about Marines is you can set up those siege tanks on the low ground, send in 1 or 2 Marines, and there's really not a lot of range damage coming out of there. That's a nice fungal. Those are all going to go down without much of a fight. Scan goes down so I can know how much forces are there. Tanks blasting away at the center of that force there, and wow, that was a nice Baneling hit there. We've got a couple of fungals down on the south side, and man, like I said, those fungals are going to make the huge difference. That's what happens when you have 60-plus Marines. Fungals can just chew right through them, but right now we've only got 1 Ultra left and a handful of Roaches. They are going to finish off that force in the middle, but there's a huge drop once again. All this is going to die. This hatch is just a goner, and if the medevacs are quick enough, he should load up right now just to eliminate any threat of fungal trapping those medevacs for too long. And there he's going to load up, head right back into the main, it looks like.
All right, well, those Marines trying to get their way into the medevacs, but they're left behind.
I know how that feels, man. Oakland buses, they're ruthless. You can be knocking on the door, running along with it, and they won't let you in.
I've experienced Muni plenty of times, so I understand.
Me and you have crashed into a dump truck while riding
That's
Muni.
Right. We were on a train which ran into a dump truck, so anyway.
Public transportation.
Hooray! It was so funny, too, because I initially moved to San Francisco. I was like, I will never need a car again. I will let my ideals and desire for public transportation win through. And then it was just awful, and I quit taking it. So
yeah, weird how that happened. But really, really nice upgrades for ZeeZ still coming along here. Hive is about to be reestablished for Dark, but obviously there's been a lot of downtime trying to get those tech buildings back. And Oh, we've got, looks like we're gearing up for some annoying mid-base tactics here. Obviously, Marauders can hit the low ground from up there, and Siege Tanks, obviously, can hit the hatch even from there.
Oh, no, I'm not sure what those Zerglings are doing.
That's not the right place.
That's just going to be a lot of dead Zerglings here in a second.
Ouch, and yeah, just look how the units are split up effectively. He's going to keep them split like that so that these Fungals don't really do too much. You see right there, a Fungal is used and only hit about 3 Marines. Tank's still in good position here to pick off those Ultras. That was a decent Fungal, but now basically every Infestor was picked off. Back in the main, that force that just keeps coming in. Dark really can't do a whole lot about it. He's spread so thin right now. He does have a ton of minerals and gas, actually, but I don't think he has the larva to actually be able to keep up with this.
And because of the Hive Tech reset, his upgrades are really not all that great. He's only sitting on 2-2 for now. He wasn't able to get those adrenal glands, so his Zerglings are so much less effective than they would otherwise be. And it looks like these last couple of Marines are even going to be able to power through the rest of the stuff while Jimmeh runs through. There's the Mannered Mule once again. No BM,
no BM, please. Rip ZeeZ.
Yeah.
No BM, please. Rip ZeeZ.
Rip ZeeZ for life.
Oh my goodness, so Marauders just getting fungled everywhere, but they're so stout. They're even going to live through 2 Fungals. There's the GG from Isurus.Dark.
All right, so that's game number